Alright, so now that we've got our doors and windows drawn, I'm going to show you how to do the offset for the clothes rod and the shelves in the closet, and then we'll also do the notes that we need throughout the drawing. So I'm going to zoom in over here to the closet. I'm going to set my shelf layer current. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have a shelf layer. It says to set the floor plan layer current. So I've got floor plan current. I'm going to do my offset command, and this time I'm going to offset, it tells me to do 12 inches. Enter. And I'm going to offset all three of these walls to get my closet shelves. Looks good. The next step, I'm going to choose my clothes rod layer, and I'm going to do the offset again. This time it's going to be 10 inches, just a little bit shorter. But look what happens. Do you see that? I have my clothes rod layer set current, but my new offset still came in on the floor plan layer, the green layer. When you do the offset command, it's important to understand really all the offset command is it's a copy command with a preset distance. So it just copied the line that I had. It kind of ignored the fact that my clothes rods layer was current, and it just copied it the way that it is. So I'm going to show you a little trick. I'll undo this, and I'll go back into the offset command, and before you type in a distance or click anywhere, you get this option, and if you notice down at the command line, you've got an option that says layer. You can click on this, or you can type L for layer, or if you'd like, you can press the down key on the keyboard. No right or wrong way to do this. They all take you to the same thing, but there's a layer option in the offset command. And by default it goes to source, so that new copy that comes in is coming in on the source layer. You do have the option though to make it your current layer. So go to current, press enter, and now when I do that 10-inch offset, so I type in my distance, I click here, look, it comes in on the new layer. That's a really cool command to know about. Press enter. That command stays active for the rest of this drawing. If you want it on a new drawing, you have to do it each time in a brand new drawing, but once you've done it for this drawing, it remembers it and it stays that way. Alright, so I've got my clothes rod done. The next step that I need to do is put all of my room labels and all of my text here in the drawing. So step 8 says to set the text layer current. And it says to use the multi-line text, and you can do multi-line. When you use the multi-line text though, you draw a text box, type your text in here, and you notice you get this new ribbon that you didn't see before, and this is your text editor ribbon. The multi-line text or mtext command, it's great if you've got really fancy text that you need to do, and bullets and numbering and underline and fancy formatting. But for the text that we need here, I just pressed escape. I actually like doing the single line text command, and I'll show you why. So I'm going to use single line instead of multi-line, the way the book is asking for. Multi-line is also referred to as mtext, and single line you'll hear it referred to as dtext. So single line, you don't draw the box, you're not going to get fancy formatting options here, but it just wants to know where you want to start. It wants to know your text height, and the book tells me my text height should be 6 inches. It wants to know the rotation angle. I don't want it to rotate at all, so I'll just 0, enter, and then you just start typing. So I'm going to turn on my caps here and start typing. What's cool about the single line text command though is instead of having to end the command here, start it again, which is what I would have to do for the multi-line text. I would have to start it again and draw a new text box. Check this out. I just click up here. I'm still in that same command. So I was just able to, and I pressed enter twice to get out of that last one, but I was able to go in all within one command and just put in some basic text here with the single line text. Now I'm going to zoom into this door, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do single line text to get this door note. I'll click inside. It tells me that it should be 4 inches. Rotation of 0. And now I'm just going to type in the door size. So this door is a 3-foot 0-inch door. So I'll do 3, enter, 0, enter. Enter twice to get out of that. And what I'm going to do is actually pick up this 0 by the grip. Turn off my ortho. You can press F8 to turn off your ortho. and I'm just going to move that 0 up here. So when you're looking at this door, it's important to understand that's a 3-foot 0-inch door. It's not a 30-inch door, and this is not the degree sign. It's a 3 and a 0 for 3 feet 0 inches. I'll come up here and do that same command. 4 inches, rotation of 0, 2 foot 0 inches. Pick that grip up, move him up right where he needs to be, and I'm just going to do the copy command now. Since I've got 2 different doors that are 2 feet, may as well just take that same note and copy it right over. Alright, so we've got all the text that we need, the door labels. The last thing we need to do here is to just do the window markers. So, the window markers, basically it's just a circle with text on the inside. So, it's telling me here, I just want to start with the circle command. It actually gives me a diameter. It says the diameter of that circle is 9 inches. So when I start the circle command, I'm going to choose the center diameter option. I like to have it right in line with the center of the window, so I'm using O-track right now to acquire the midpoint of that window. Move it over to start the center here. It wants the diameter, 9 inches. So my circle's good. Now I just need to do text, and again I'm going to do single line text here. And for the start point, I'm going to start at the center of that circle, which is why I turned on that center O-snap earlier. But one thing I want to do right before I get started here, because text always comes in aligned at the lower left corner, if I do the down arrow or look at the command line, I can type in J for justify. And look at this. If I type in MC, there's an option to make my text justify in the middle center of the text. So I'll do MC. Now I'll acquire that. You have to hover right on the edge of that circle to get this O-snap at the center. Specify the height. So it tells me here that the height is 4 inches again. Rotation is 0. And I'll just type in the letter A, enter twice, and I've got that door marker here. Or I'm sorry, window marker. I'm going to use the copy command, and I'm just going to copy this. Pick it up here. Again, I'm going to O-track just to get it right in the center. And then I will copy this one. Use the midpoint there as my base point so that they're all perfectly spaced right at the center of that window. Your instructor might not care if you do that. That's just me. I have issues. I need it to be all perfectly straight. So everything looks good. All of the windows are A's except this bathroom. That bathroom window is a B size window. Alright, so I've got the whole drawing done. I've got my walls done, I've got my doors in, my windows in, my closet, rod and shelf, I've got all the rooms labeled, and I've got my doors and windows labeled as well. I am almost done with this project. The last thing that I need to do is just come over here and fill out the window schedule and the text in my title block. So the easiest way to do this is just double click. So you've got the text right here, just double click on it and you can come in here and type A, double click this, B, just use the text, and we're just going to edit it instead of being the X. 3 feet 0 inches by 3 feet 0 inches. So this is telling us window A that we labeled is a 3 foot by 3 foot. Window B is a 2 foot by 2 foot window. Type, the book has S.H, and that stands for single hung. Quantity, I had 4 of these guys, and only 1 of the B in the bathroom. You also want to come over here and fill out your title block. Type in your school name here, course number, drawn by, put your initials where the X's are. Don't forget the date and also a 1/4 inch. That's not what the scale is. It's actually a 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. So don't forget to type that in. So I've got it looking exactly the way the book has. I'm going to put one more little step in here. The The book doesn't necessarily have this step, but it's important as long as we're putting the notes and labels in here. I'm going to go ahead and do text, single line text. I'll start it down here, 4 inches. I'm just going to make a little note at the bottom that says my walls are 4 inches thick. That's important to know because some architectural firms actually draw walls at 3.5 inches. When you're going out to measure out the rooms, it's important to know what thickness you were using in that drawing. Alright, so there's one last little step, and this is a pretty easy one to do. It's just to hatch the walls, and then we're done. I'm going to set the hatch layer current, and I'll come over here on the draw command, the draw panel here. I'll click on the hatch command. I get a new ribbon. The book tells me I should use the net. Hatch pattern. It tells me to use a scale of 10. And here I'm just going to click inside the walls. Press enter. And it looks good. I am done with this project. So that was the guest cottage. In chapter 6 we'll come back and learn how to dimension using architectural dimensions. So we'll come back into this project and dimension it in chapter 6. And then in chapter 10 we're going to learn about blocks. So we'll come back into this same project to insert blocks. And blocks are going to be things like the ceiling fan, light switches, outlets, the bathtub, sink, and toilet. So that's it for this project though.